Welcome to Leading the Way, Oakland Schools Leadership Interview Series highlighting leaders throughout Oakland County. I'm Dandridge Floyd, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources at Oakland Schools, and I am grateful to be joined by Susan Hollady, Executive Director of Leadership Oakland. Susan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me today to talk more about leadership.
Well, it is a really critical time for leadership throughout the county and throughout the state, and I couldn't think of anyone better to be sitting in this seat than someone who really helps develop leaders throughout our county. So I'm really grateful you were able to be here.
Well, thank you. I'm just coming off a leadership development retreat where we had 49 leaders from Oakland County who are embarking on a journey, a 10-month leadership journey with me. So,
that is amazing.
Exciting times.
Well, let's jump right into it. So you've been in this role for quite some time, doing a fantastic job. What leadership qualities do you believe have been most important in helping you develop yourself as a leader?
Yeah, that's a great question. And if I go back to even my early days in leadership, I became a leader at 25. And for me, I think my qualities is the ability to know people and get to know people. And so as I look at my career, I've spent over 15 years leading people, as much as 125 people at one time, and now the last 12 years developing people to be leaders. So I think just listening and getting to know someone authentically and genuinely is my strength. And so that's one of them. And I think the other one is I always said yes.
Oh.
So when I first started, I was in computer science for 15 years, and I was always the one that would raise my hand and volunteer for a job, a project that nobody else wanted to do.
You were busy.
And so I had the opportunity to get a lot of experience early in my career, which has helped me.
Very much so. So speaking about your early career, what advice do you wish, thinking back, that you would have gotten very early on?
So I think the biggest one for me is it's okay to make mistakes. Deep down, I'm a perfectionist, and even all the way, like I wanted to do well in school, and I get to Grand Valley State, and I decide to take a math class 5 days a week at 8 a.m. Who does that? So I was always trying to strive to do better and better and better. I wish somebody would have said, you know what, making mistakes is a learning experience, and it's okay to do that. So that's a big one for me that I wish somebody would have let me know a long time ago.
And it's a very important one as well. And that's something that we don't often talk about, the pitfalls of leadership. And so I'm thinking about your leadership journey and the role you're in now. What are some other things that you think we don't talk about enough in terms of leadership but are very important?
I think, mentorship gets talked about a lot, so that's one. I think I like the phrase of Stephen Covey, seek first to understand before trying to be understood. And I don't think we do enough listening. And I go to a lot of events, and I try to ask more questions than talk about me. And I think as leaders, there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of egos, there's a lot of people, that maybe don't take that time to really get to know someone, and then the other things come into play, and you get business with working with people and some of those things. But I think listening as a leader is something that we maybe don't talk enough about.
Yeah. And it's an art and a science for sure. What do you see moving forward? I mean, we're obviously in a very polarizing time, but what do you see as just really the biggest challenges happening in our community over the next few years?
Yeah, definitely talent. And it starts at the young talent. So I think it's also an opportunity for us. And we run the Junior Leadership Program.
Yes.
So for
Can you say more about that?
Absolutely. So we started this 16 years ago. One of our adult programs, their day of service was to hold a one-day workshop for high school kids. And it was so well done, so well received from the community that we have continued that program for the last 15 years. So we offer it free to any high school student in the region. It's a 3-day workshop, and it's to teach them how to deal with conflict, how to get along well with others that have different personality styles. We expose them to businesses in Oakland County, So we take them on a field trip, if you will, and show them all the opportunities here in their backyard. Because what we're finding is people are leaving the state, right? And so how do we show them that there's opportunities for them at all levels here in the county? So the junior leadership has been great. We offer it every June. And then also, I think on top of that, we just launched the Acorn to Oak Youth Grant Program with Oakland County. So we're trying to really promote and look at the youth and their passions, and how can we as a leadership organization help them take that to the next step, and take that idea, that passion, and how do we help them?
Yeah, and that's really a pipeline for talent too, and keeping our residents here for the betterment of the state. So that's really good. Well, you know, we have a leadership academy here, and we're really helping to develop that pipeline. So what advice would you give our cohort participants going through the academy?
That's really a great idea. I love the program you just started. It's really going to pay off in the long run. I would say 3 things. One is a mentor. Luckily in my career, like I said, I became a leader at 25, and I followed my mentor across the country. So I started in Lansing, he moved to Detroit, he took me with him. He moved to Denver, he took me with him. And so I learned a lot from him as, you know, as a well-established leader, and I was so young that he took me under his wing and taught me a lot. So find someone you trust. So it doesn't have to be, it could be a teacher, it could be a friend, but someone that you trust, that you can just talk about ideas and talk about the things that they're going through as a young leader. That is definitely one. I would say, again, get out of your comfort zone, right? And try something new. Like I said, it's okay to make mistakes. So try something new and learn from it. And then the third one, you know, we did this activity at retreat. We call it the one word. And so we had people think back to a story in their life and then come up with what one word that would describe that. And we had them make bracelets. So they all left the retreat with a one-word bracelet. My word is positive. And it's kind of a reminder that that's kind of their mission, their focus, their passion. And so I would say, you know, find that what that passion is for them, right? And where do they want to lead in their journey, their leadership journey?
Well, I can tell you Oakland County is very lucky to have you guiding our leaders that we have through Leadership Oakland. Oakland Schools is a participant of Leadership Oakland, and our members here can't say enough about your leadership and the program. And I'm so glad you were able to join us today.
Thank you for having me and for sharing information, and would love to get to know your young leaders that you're putting through your program.
Oh, more than welcome to have you in.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining this edition of Leading the Way. See you next time.